It looks like the internet absolutely has lost its mind, especially with all these latest Stephen Hawking AI videos.
Initiating break mode.
That guy was actually a weirdo that was frequenting Epstein Island, as that's not the only weird thing on the internet, as right now we're having a full-on discussion about what in the world happened to Charlie Kirk, as some online internet conspiracy theorists are blaming TPUSA for it. Now, I originally talked about this in a video yesterday, but I wanted to do a full video because I think there's a lot of things that are just absolutely wrong with some of the questions being asked, and there's some things that are happening that Candace Owens just revealed that I think are absolutely worth talking about in an honest, forefront type of way to talk about the scenario and situation that's unfolding right now that absolutely is having a lot of people convinced that there's a lot more to this story than what we are being told. Now, there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of backlash from what Candace Owens revealed as Officer Brandon Tatum. He is calling for more censorship of individuals like Tucker Carlson in response to Charlie Kirk allegedly writing that he was getting extorted and exploited for not trying to cancel him before. Talk about bad timing here. We're going to get through all of it, as some people are even questioning the legitimacy of these new text messages from Candace Owens, which I would say makes sense. And I'll tell you why, with my own kind of unique personal understanding of this type of scenario and situation in this particular video. If you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that, of course, you spend with us here as a viewer of this particular content. Now, Ian Carroll, about 2 days ago, says more and more evidence is pointing squarely at TPUSA, and it's getting spicy. Again, being very generalized with his words, and I don't like that. Insinuating, but then be like, oh, no, I didn't really say that. And again, I don't agree with this particular type of approach personally, right? Like, I wouldn't do this. Now, he talked about, soon we're going to release the data, release the information, as he talks about how TPUSA is a nonprofit and how they're able to participate in political speech. They had two types of agencies, and from what I understand, they were able to, of course, follow a lot of those rules with a different way of doing it, because they had two different organizations, one which allowed them to be political, another one that didn't, from my understanding of it. And I remember being at one of the events like, oh, no, you can't talk about, you can't mention anything political during this particular conference, because if you do, they'll get in trouble. And I remember something like that. Anyway, now people are saying, it's TPUSA. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch here, okay? And from my understanding of it, a lot of people are like, look, Erica Kirk's not phased. She's phased, all right? People are like, oh, look, they wanted to take him out. It's like they're taking out their own organization. Like they're taking out the main driving head of their organization, right? And listen, TPUSA is probably going to have to deal with a lot of significant issues and problems that are not going to be very convenient for them in the next few months, weeks, and years ahead, as Charlie was the workhorse. Why would you get rid of that? And you think you're delusional enough that that organization is going to be as great as it was without Charlie? I mean, I don't buy that. Personally, from my understanding of it. As now, Candace Owens came out and exposed TPUSA and some of their text messages that were happening behind the scenes that allege that Charlie was done, quote, with pro-Israel causes. Now, this is statements allegedly with Rob McCoy, an individual who came out and then made statements that are contradicted. And the contradiction here really is the most interesting part, since these text messages, if they're true. My first question is, are they verified? Can we verify them? Is any one of those 9 people on the text messages saying, no, this is fake? So far, none of them said it was fake. If they do, I'm like, okay, let's take a look at the message exchange and let's see if they're true. So far, none of them came out and said, no, it's all false. None of them. Now, if they do, and Candace is talking about releasing their names one a day, then we have a different story, and then we have Candace's version of events here contested. So far, they haven't been. So far, it looks like it's real. And I'll tell you why I think it's real in a little bit. But again, there's a possibility they could be fake. But that is now the onus of the TPUSA people involved in this conversation to say it is. So far, they haven't.
And others knew that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is
Now, Charlie actually said stuff like this. He was on other shows and said, I'm being called anti-Semitic, right? He was trying behind the scenes to stop the war from Iran from happening. He was trying behind the scenes to release the Epstein list. He was doing really important work behind the scenes that was verified later. And now he's, Candace is like, look, I got this bombshell. And some people are saying, is it really a bombshell? I think it is. And I'll tell you, you'll see the full conversation because it's the contradiction of statements that really make you wonder, okay, maybe something deeper, maybe something else is going on here. Now, before talking about that and playing the rest of this clip, because again, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson did a whole show, and they specifically talked about, they're trying to push me, they're trying to not blackmail, but they're trying to threaten me. He didn't say threaten. I'm trying to be exact. I'll go into it right after I tell you about wearechange.shop. Wearechange.shop, we got a lot of great, amazing supplements. One of the ones that I've been recently taking a lot of is magnesium glycinate. I usually take it with my last meal of the day. It really helps with a lot of different things. But for me personally, it just helps me get a better night's sleep. Sleep is everything. Lots of people are deficient in magnesium because our food is literally being robbed of it. Our food had a lot of magnesium in it. It doesn't, mainly because of monocropping and big agriculture. That's just stripping away all the nutrients, all the amazing things that our bodies used to thrive off of. As Dr. Eric Berg says, muscle cramps, high blood pressure, or poor sleep, magnesium glycinate might be what your body is missing. Adjust the amount based on your symptoms and see what works for you. Sometimes it's the fix that is simple. Absolutely. People are talking about magnesium glycinate and the product that specifically helps with headaches, anxiety, chronic pain. And for some people, it disappears once they make sure that they take enough magnesium. People are saying if your skin feels puffy, tired, or if you have cellulite, most Americans do, quote, could be a magnesium issue. Magnesium is, I think, one of the most important minerals that a lot of people are deficient in, don't know that they're deficient in. It's very difficult to do blood tests to find out if you're deficient in. If you're on the modern American diet and you're not eating whole foods all the time that are organic, naturally grown in a regenerative farm, you're probably magnesium deficient. Do your own homework before putting anything into your body. We are change.shop. That's how you support us. Check it out. Now, let's play the rest of this clip here by Candace Owens because this is a big bombshell, and I think this is important.
An actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing.
Well, he didn't just attack Candace. He came out and said, no. Charlie loved Israel. And it looks like in this text message, Charlie was expressing a different point of view here.
Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody.
Now that's big, right? And we talked about that. And we did videos when Charlie was still alive saying, there are major efforts right now to try to cancel Tucker. Tucker came out at the last Students Action Summit in Tampa, Florida. I was there. I was at the event. And he came out on stage and he specifically pointed out the big money players, specifically pointed out Bill Ackman, specifically pointed out how the whole Epstein operation was a Mossad operation. And everyone was like, holy cow. He talked about how stupid and foolish hiding the Epstein files was. And everyone was kind of shocked. After that, major efforts to cancel him, as Charlie Kirk announced, yeah, he's going to be speaking at the next TPUSA event. Everyone was like, wait, what? And there was activists, there was big-time donors, and now it confirms what we're hearing, and then Charlie confirmed this on the Megyn Kelly show, saying that there's a lot of efforts, even going as far as to call him anti-Semitic when he has gone above and beyond for the state of Israel.
He writes, Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this.
Yep, and then Andrew Koval came out and says, "Yeah, look, Charlie didn't want to be bullied. He came out and he stood up against a lot of these bullies, and they made it a point. They made it an issue to say, you're gonna try to cancel me for having Tucker. Maybe we'll give him 2 speeches. That's exactly what Andrew was talking about. That's what Charlie was saying. Maybe we'll let Candace speak, and this was their response."
Leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
That's big. Leaving me no other room but to leave the pro-Israel cause here. Now, Charlie Kirk leaving the pro-Israel cause, big deal. Huge deal. As a lot of the younger Republicans are feeling more out of touch, more isolated from this administration's type of bending over backwards type of policy that allows Bibi to humiliate Donald Trump, which he did many times. Donald Trump says, hey, stop bombing Gaza. They continue to bomb Gaza. Donald Trump said, stop bombing Iran. They continue bombing Iran. Donald Trump's still paying for everything behind the scenes, saying, I'm really disappointed in Bibi, but never, ever matching it with any kind of consequential actions at all.
And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups,
that might feel good short term, but not long term. Obviously, when you're having huge mega donors pull $2 million, that's a lot of money from your cause, from your organization, and they're like, we're taking it. You could cut Tucker Carlson, you'll get the money back. What's the price? $2 million? Oh, we'll make it more. Now, allegedly, there was a $150 million foreign government deal that was never proven, and it looks like that wasn't really going on. $2 million is still a significant portion of the pie. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So, again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay?
Now, this is big, right? I think Clint Russell had a take that a lot of people had from watching this. He's saying, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. 48 hours later, gone. Now, again, could be a coincidence. Could be something that was uncorrelated. Could be, right? Now, if you're going to pull off an assassination, that takes a lot of planning, especially if you're pulling off a major operation, right? Which a lot of people believe happened during the Charlie Kirk assassination. It would take more than just 48 hours, in my opinion. That's the thing that I would just question here, right? He says, look, if you want to ignore this as a possible motive, feel free. I cannot. And again, some people are like, yeah, whatever. It was happening, but it's unrelated to the assassination. Other people are saying, no, this proves 110%. I'm like, it doesn't. It's circumstantial. Is it worth investigating? Yeah, I think everything is, because Charlie Kirk was a very big, important figure. And him losing his life makes a huge dent in the right-wing media sphere that is never going to be fixed. And I think we need to understand it fully so it never happens again. Clint says, if the FBI narrative were even remotely coherent, I might dismiss it. but it isn't, so I won't. And again, FBI didn't do themselves any favors by lying to us about Epstein. We have MJ Truth Ultra saying my thoughts. This is really bad. If true, it screams of motive. But first, there's a few things we should understand. The message, judging by its format, was written on a private Telegram chat 100%. I've seen many times when scammers have spelled out my name, pretending to be me, and you'd never be able to tell if it wasn't me without seeing the actual handle of the account. Not saying these messages aren't authentic, but it would prove they are 100% authentic by providing the handle of Charlie's account. So for now, I'm taking Candace's word for it, which means someone in that group chat released those internal messages to her. Now, again, there's a possibility of those messages being faked, because they can be faked very easily. And what better way to try to undermine and attack Candace by giving her fake information that's impossible to verify, that she just kind of runs with. And then a couple days later, it's like, oh yeah, that was actually fake. We're just kind of scamming her just to make her look bad, to see how she would fall for everything. That's also a possibility. Is that exactly what's going on here? So far, that does not look like it's the case. I'm just playing hypothetical devil's advocate here. Also, TPUSA has a lot of explaining to do, and can right now say that these messages are either authentic or not. Now, as soon as the BB letter came out, the Charlie Kirk BB letter came out, I was like, Andrew, are they real? Is the letter real? Andrew Coble. And Andrew confirmed it. He was like, yes, I can confirm that this letter is real. And I think it's important to confirm stuff like this. And I think the people at TPUSA, they have their own questions about what's going on here. And listen, the FBI is not doing that good of a job. Let's just be real with ourselves here. So that's why a lot of people have a lot of these questions. And listen, whether they're true or not, I think we need to have an explanation, and I think someone needs to come forward. Now, Brandon Tatum, he works for TPUSA. Looks like I think he unfollowed me. Anyway, he says, this is the moment now to cancel to Tucker Carlson. What? Like a private text message exchange was just released talking about how people were extorting Charlie Kirk to not have to not have Tucker Carlson, and now you're gonna double down on that. Tucker Carlson talked about how essentially a lot of these people were torturing Charlie in the days before he passed away, and this is what Tucker Carlson said. Now again, all these text messages, new and explosive proofs of note. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens have been saying this for days. This is why I don't think they're fake, because they kind of confirm what we were saying a while ago. Brandon Tatum, I will always support TPUSA. Tucker Carlson is antithetical to what TPUSA says. No, he's not. Charlie made him the headline speaker for the upcoming TPUSA event, even under tremendous amounts of pressure. What are you talking about? And why are you doubling down on an extortion pressure campaign against Charlie Kirk that allegedly unfolded in these text messages? And if for real, you're just saying, yeah, good, cancel, put more pressure. What? That makes no sense here. The misfit patriot. Charlie definitely would have used language like Jewish donors play into all stereotypes. That sounds exactly like Charlie. He's being sarcastic here. Anyone buying this ish needs their head examined. I don't know, because again, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly confirmed this stuff beforehand. And now we have Pastor Rob McCoy, who came out and attacked Candace Owens. He's the one in the group chat and says, no. Charlie felt that Israel's were God chosen people.
But you can also, like we do with our own government, call them out when they're wrong. And I was on a text stream with him and Orthodox rabbis and Orthodox believers, and he would lay this out. He would lay it out, and he would glean from that, and then he'd be on the other side where he's trying to understand, Tucker's position and everyone else's, because he was trying to build a bridge for young people 18 to 30 that were non-traditional conservative voters.
Right.
These are kids that were sick and tired of watching.
And again, he goes on and talks about God chosen people. And again, Charlie had a bit of a nuanced take on it. He wasn't black or white like a lot of people are, and that's why it's hard to understand this. And I think the nuance here matters. Laura Loomer says, I don't give a F about Candace Owens and her postpartum psychotic rants. Even if those texts are real, it still doesn't mean that Israel killed Charlie. She's not wrong. Now, should everyone be investigated here? Yes. She says, Candace Owens makes content for low IQ people who don't understand how criminal investigations work. It's going to be hilarious when she is sued by TPUSA in addition to Macron's wife. As Morgan O'Reilly says, Laura Loomer hasn't made a single post about Candace Owens reporting on Charlie Kirk's group chat. We will know the first thing. First to run her mouth. She's waiting for her talking points. That's what she said. James Lindsay, also not a fan of this, saying Candace releasing a leaked or stolen text, allegedly from Charlie, in a moment of his great frustration to try to pass off some tired lies about herself and her mission, really is a new low. I don't think that's the case here. The quartering was like, I haven't seen this message. I don't know. So he's questioning the validity of it in a way, saying, I don't think it's real. He's been getting a lot of flack from it, and he also has been kind of going at war with Candace. Now, there's a lot of other things I'm going to save for another video, especially the people being paid $7,000 to post. Are they posting the stuff kind of countering, signaling a lot of this stuff? I don't know. Again, there's some questions that I think are a little bit absurd. I think some questions are worth asking. Some investigations are worth having. There's a lot of other things to discuss here, specifically when it comes to Kash Patel, Gaza, Anna Paulina Luna, the Chinese government, as she said. We did a video about that yesterday. Go watch that. I wouldn't be here. I'm going to make more videos, obviously. I got too much to talk about. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys supporting our store at We Are Change the Shop. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/We Are Change.